Hi everyone, this is an experiment. I haven't gone live on YouTube like this before, just straight through YouTube. And of course, because life got busy, I forgot to tell everybody that I was doing it. Anyway, if you find yourself here, welcome. My intention for going live is really to take questions and answers if anybody shows up to receive healing energy. So keep an eye on the chat. And if nobody is here, then I'll just broadcast some healing energy with a specific intention. So thank you for being here. If you watch this later, receive this healing energy. My intention today is to bring through a very grounding presence to bring you into your center. So go ahead and get yourself situated in your seat or laying down if you like, and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Would like to receive a healing energy, the focus of this healing energy today, please place your question in the chat. It's an opportunity today to receive healing energy and messages that come through. The way I work is by tuning into spirit guidance and receiving information. I work on the premise that what information is presented is what you're ready to clear. I also would like to say that your participation in this public broadcast is your consent to have information about your health and wellness be public. And if that's not something that you want to talk about, that's fine as well. You can just receive. So as we go on, how this works is if you were to speak and ask for a healing, it's very good if you're very, very specific about what is happening in your life. It could be emotional, physical, spiritual, mental aspects of your life, or all of the above. So if you're having a place in your life where you're feeling stuck or stagnant, or you keep hitting the wall, or you can't see the way past, or you're not sure why you've manifest any kind of dis-ease, that is something that you can ask about. And I also say that all healing comes from the divine, and only take what resonates for you. So if it doesn't ring as true in your being, then don't take it on. But if it lands for you and it feels appropriate and it's true, then you receive information that you can work with moving forward to unravel and dissipate the energy that you've been holding in your body. So somebody that you know, just let me receive some information about schizophrenia. It's interesting because I have a lifetime of being in and around people with schizophrenia because my father was a psychiatrist and that was his specialty. So, and I've come to understand the process of a person coming through with schizophrenia and what they're working with and how they are able to the veil. So sometimes being able to see reality in a way that is different to most people can be terribly terrifying. So the thing that would be most beneficial to somebody with schizophrenia who's working with a fragmented aspect of reality like a mosaic versus a whole picture is, so it's a very difficult mindset to work with, but what you can do is work with those fragments in a way that brings you into wholeness and gives you the best possible support and grounding that you can. So that is also to be aware of tools that you can use to protect yourself psychically. And I'll put a link at the bottom to a track that I've created called Psychic Protection that is very much about creating a force field in your energy field to protect yourself from negative forces. Because of the fragmentation of your mindset, there is a vulnerability to negative influences and there's a lot of darkness that comes with that. So that is the difficult road. But if you can put tools and practices in that assist you to keep your energy field clear, so that's also working with a lot of earth-based wisdom, indigenous wisdom that is keeping your energy field clear and protected. That will assist you greatly, because then you actually claim some sovereignty to your being, and you have a choice about what is allowed into your field. So part of that is recognizing that your will is your sovereignty, and that you have power over this domain. You have a say about what comes near you, what comes through, what comes in. And that's not just physical people, experiences, places, but it's energetic, right? So that if you're exposed to realms that are very dark or sinister, or voices, for example, that are telling you to do harmful things to yourself, that there is a way to protect yourself from that, so that you at least gain tools to keep your functionality and yourself in a very clear and sacred place. So start to investigate sacred tools, earth-based wisdom, shamanic practices that allow you to work with that on a daily basis, morning, noon, and night if you have to, so that you can at least create your sphere and your home. You can set it to be a sacred place, a holy place, a place of highest good, a place of highest vibration. So that's the field that you're working within. And in that field that you're working with the fragmentation, you're working with the aspects of self in a sacred and safe way. So that's what I would suggest. You're welcome, and I'm happy, Zara, to continue that conversation with you. You're more than welcome to reach out to me, because there are just so many tools available. Yeah. And I also have a friend currently that is working with that, and it's a very difficult road. The other aspect of that is to just be aware of that when you come in as a spirit with this experience, that you're actually processing things. Depending on how many fragments you're dealing with, you're processing enough things for, like, say, 10 people. Most people are managing and navigating life just with one mindset and one consciousness and one physical body and one emotional child, but maybe you have multiple, and so it's the next level of advanced karmic resolution. So you're working with multiple experiences at any one time, and just give yourself a pat on the back for managing that, right? I mean, most people are just dealing with life with one, and it's difficult enough as it is. So acknowledge yourself for the difficulty that you're dealing with in the most advanced level of the game on multiple facets, right? So yeah, I'm going to just offer a little prayer for you, Zara, since you're here. And if you can just close your eyes, and this could be for anyone working with schizophrenia, since that's where we're going today, right? Just if you can place your hands on your heart, Zara. If you can feel the beat of your own heart. We have one heart. And even though the mind might feel fragmented, discordant, jarring, just like you would if you had fragments of glass to create a beautiful mosaic mandala, we're going to pull those fragmented aspects of self together and weave a beautiful mandala, okay? And that mandala, that is your central force in your heart. You have one heart. And if the mindset becomes too difficult and the fragmentation becomes too difficult, all you need to do is place your hand on your heart, one heart. Okay, that is the source. That is who you are. One beating, beautiful heart. And in that heart is a beautiful jewel, right? It's the essence of you. It's your spirit. Just remember who that is. If you're struggling to feel who you are, hand on heart. One beating heart. One spirit. One force. One temple. This is the temple. This is sacred. This is safe right here. This is home. Okay? You're going to take a deep breath into the heart. Just drawing back the pieces, drawing back the pieces. I didn't bring my drum today, but that is something that would help you too. If you have a drum, to drum. To drum and call back the pieces when you're feeling fragmented, calling back the pieces into your heart. Take another deep breath into the heart. This is true for anyone who's also dealing with, like a lot of mental noise, a lot of mental rumination, a lot of cogs spinning, a lot of thoughts and ideas whirring. If you're feeling very heady and disconnected from your body, just bring your attention back to the heart, back to the heart. I'm also hearing, Zara, a very beautiful toning sound. So if you can get yourself into any kind of sound healing, or if you have a chime of any sorts, or a bell, or a crystal bowl, any kind of beautiful resonant chime sound that you could work with every morning and every night before you go to sleep. There's also an aspect to set your parameters of your space at night, so to psychically protect your space at night, so that you feel like you're within this force field, so that no entities or unwelcome lower vibrational beings can come to you at night. So your dream space is also protected. Yeah. So the main thing is feeling protected. The main thing is feeling protected, right? Let me just see what you've been saying. Psychic attacks, terrible energy around and inside. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing to consider, Zara, that working with schizophrenia, just very, very empathically open. Okay. So be mindful of who you have in your immediate field, and that you may in fact just be picking up from everybody. So working with an extremely sensitive to energy with fragmented mindset is extra hard, right? So when you're feeling inside and out, it's like you're a little frog in the pond, and you're sensitive to the waters around you. You're sensitive to the energy around you. You're sensitive to the vibrations around you. Yeah. And just like myself, just like anybody who's empathic or compassionate or calls themselves a light worker, or they're psychic or they're intuitive, that you are so sensitive. But in addition to that, it's the fragmented mindset, so it's extra hard. Take another deep breath into the heart space with me. Yeah, we're going to just bring in some pure light, golden light. And if you have the wherewithal and the bandwidth and you remember to do this, just bring in the golden light into the heart space. One more. Okay. I'm just going to sit for a minute. I'm just going to broadcast some healing energy, and this is for others who have joined as well. You can have eyes open or eyes closed. Just do some clearing of the field. And anybody who's here, this is for you as well, okay? You're very welcome. I just want to acknowledge that we all need help, okay? And that you don't have to do it alone. And I know the medical system is very hard lines, hard edge, medication, being put in care and all those kinds of things. That is the way the medical system deals with such a condition. But if you're out and about and working in the world and trying to do life and navigating with all the things that you're dealing with, that you're not alone. You're just not alone. And that there is a lot of help out there, okay? And part of humanity evolving, part of humanity lifting up together is finding those support networks, finding your people, finding your soul tribe. Oh, very important to feel like you're not alone. Yes. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome. And thanks for finding me. I literally forgot to tell everybody that I was going to be here. So because of life happened. Kathleen, continued clearing of old programming. Blessing for your path moving forward. Clearing of old program. Kathleen, can you? I feel like there's a specific point that is poking at you, and it hurts. So whether that's a physical pain that's showing up for you, it feels like a real spiky. Like if someone was poking at you with a nail or something, there's a spikiness. So is that a person? Is that a thorn in your side? Is that, a stone in your shoe? There's something pointy coming at you. And if it, when I say those words and it comes into the light of your consciousness, that what that is or who that is or what's creating that, can you give voice to it here? Because it would be helpful for me to shift the energy around it. It feels like it's lighting up, and it keeps lighting up because there's a pattern of karmic resolution here for you to lay to rest, right? There's something your soul is wanting to learn from this spiky picking, jab, 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 that is going to have the lights going in your mind about, that was this information that's been trying to come through, that I've been trying to resolve, that I've been trying to work with. It's a person. Okay. Metaphorical. More information about that, please. Do you mean it's a metaphorical person, or do you actually, is there a person in your life? And I think you're saying metaphorical to the spikiness. So the word that comes through is abrasive. Okay, not literal. Okay, so metaphorical, not literal pain. Okay, and it's your father. Okay, so extra tricky because it's blood relation and your dad. So okay, he comes through as overbearing and fierce. And whether he's actually an angry person or not, but it just feels like there's a lot of expectations and judgments laid on you. So, whether spoken or unspoken. Okay, so what you're working with is this resistance, because your father, I forget how old you are, Kathleen, but your father, depending on his generation, has got that generational rigid mindset, right? Like most of our fathers have. Um, Generational rigid mindset because he grew up in an era when that's what men did, right? That's how they were. So there's not a lot of softening there. And so when you're relating to him and you meet that wall of kind of the rigid mindset, it's abrasive. It feels abrasive to you because I know that you are very empathic, and I know that there's a beautiful kind of softness to your being that feels that rub. So again, I want to say, Kathleen, that the thing to do before you call, before you interact, before you meet with him is, again, it's about psychic protection. Um, it's about setting your space before you interact. So when you pick up the phone or before you do, just envelop yourself in this beautiful force field so that anything that comes at you, any hooks, barbs, any, energetic daggers or kind of it doesn't have to be even obvious, any covert hostility that's coming your way, that's quite undercurrent and unspoken. Interact with my dad because he's your dad, and you're going to hit you're going to hit that resistance and all those judgments and expectations and all that kind of low grade hostility, and you're going to hit those barbs. So you're walking into a charged and loaded situation before you're even through the door, right? So what you're doing is meditating and setting your space and feeling strong in yourself and creating a good boundary. So I'm feeling like boundaries have been an issue too in relation to your father. Kathleen, feels like there's a tear in the upper right. Um, there's a tear in your auric field in relation to your father. So we're just going to heal that right now, okay? It's like a puncture. Can you take a lovely deep breath in for me? This is about 2 feet outside of your body, so that's where it is in the auric field. Deep breath. Uh, yeah, he's really been hooking into you through that puncture. Mm. Bird song wants to come in. Can you be in where you heard song forest or dawn chorus of birds, or if you can't access a place in nature to a track with nature sounds and bird song, because I feel like that's very healing to that auric puncture, and just calling it out right here and right now and recognizing it is also going to assist you to see it. And when you can see it and be aware of it, you can also clear it and seal it, right? So that's also what you're working with when you go to see your father, that making sure that energy is sealed, healed, strong, good boundaries, and then just breathe deeply again in your being. Center of self, present moment. There's one aspect here, Kathleen, too, is like there's a lot of thoughts about memories, so that perhaps when you relate to your father, you've been operating from the past. Okay? So if when you go to talk to meet with him, that you are present here and now in this moment, not with all the stories and the baggage from the past, because that perpetuates the puncture wound. Okay, that perpetuates that hole in your aura and gives access to those spikes. So there's practice for you right there. Okay, spiritual practice, and in the an expectation as that, because he doesn't have the bandwidth or the wherewithal to be present because he's operating from, but you can. So your dynamic shifts when you recognize that you are here, present now, relating from that. That's a lot right there, but that's the practice in relation to your father. I know the older generation, very rigid in their mindsets, very stuck in kind of old paradigm, never had access in terms of expansion of awareness or, being able to find their way back into the heart. Inside him's a little boy that got hurt. Yeah. Never had the resources or the bandwidth or the tools to heal that. So there's the compassion piece as well, right? Compassion for the dad, didn't have the. And so in this way too, Kathleen, you are actually offering your ancestral line a beautiful gift of healing through. Thank you. And not expected or necessary. That would be lovely. Want to write a book, divorce. So I'm fine. This is Julie. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Divorced for 13 years and feel as I'm finally lifting from the fog. Congratulations. Went back to college, found Reiki, and so the fog is because there was an emission and ended, however, it was the separation of two individuals, I suspect it was messy. I suspect it was emotionally messy, if anything. And the fog is confusion, like you feeling, maybe it was your choice, I'm not sure, but that there was this of confusion, because the fog is, as far as I'm concerned, when I read that in somebody's space, is being lost in this person, where is absorbed in, making that a unit, and then it separates. You're like, wait a minute, who am I? Certainly Reiki was the origin of, one thing that opened a lot of channels for me. So I encourage you to explore. There is a plethora of information and modalities that you can explore to add to switching on an ignition switch, right? It basically taps you into that universal life force, that power of healing energy, and with that starts to turn the cogs of your mind, which will clear the fog bring in the light, so the sunshine dissipates the fog, right? So what you're doing in your life is wanting to bathe in the golden sunshine, because so if you can actually physically get into the, if you can't, you can bring in golden sun. Can you do me a favor, Julie, right now? Close your eyes and that really warm golden sunlight into your heart. So clearing the fog. Ooh. It's like your eyes are like, oh, wow, okay, there's a whole life out there that I've been. This is a time to self, Julie. So the healing is about self-love, self-care. You're not looking for it in another person. Actually finding the center of our being. Our natural state is happiness and joy, right? And if that's where you're at and that's your self-generating that, then that is magnetic to others, right? Absolutely magnetic, because they're like, I want some of what they want. Where do I get some of that? It's like you can't buy that joy and that happiness in your being. And it was all in that other person for. So healing, self-love, self-care, self-nourishment. What does Julie want? What does Julie want in her life? Julie wants to write a book. What's the book? Okay, big question. Could be anything. Some aspect of fantasy in there. I don't know. Something. The magic realms here are right here, wanting to come through, and is a fantasy or not, I don't know. But there is definitely the spirit of kind of magic is here for you. Okay. So you may be a magician, because it's going to bring back the magic in your life. And you can meditate on that before you sit at your keyboard or your pen and paper, and just contemplate the magic in your own being. I see you're a very magical being, Julie. You have a lot of really beautiful golden energy in your heart, right, that wants to come through you. So that's what's coming through. Whether it's an actual fantasy or not, it's the aspect of yourself that wants to come through in the written word. And it feels elaborate and eloquent and ornate and sparkly, and with embellishments and flourishes and bling and all of the sparkles that want to come through with magic. So there's this elaborate design that wants to come through your being, and I feel recognition of that right here, right now, is going to tip the scales for you to get rolling with that. Right? It's going to be that spark. Part of your journey, Zara, is recognizing that you are a healer. Okay. Because as you learn, as you heal, as you work with the energy and the mindset and the environment, and South American shaman walked into that a lot of people that were hospitalized were actually having spiritual awakenings. So what a concept, right? That an awakening could look like madness, or it could look like a mental breakdown, or could like a mental illness. Whereas in fact, it's just the recognition and the realization that actually there's more to this reality than we're aware of. And when you are tapping in and tuned in and centered in your being, you can actually access these multidimensional aspects of self. Right. And the medical system is designed to shut it down because it's not normal. And so therefore all these people, not everybody obviously, but some people are working with conditions that could be considered having a awakening. So food for thought, right? Yeah. Okay, you missed some of what I said. Hopefully you can watch it in the replay, right? Hopefully you can watch it in the replay. Julie, your father-in-law's entire family killed in a boating accident. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, Julie. That's a lot. That's a lot for you to navigate right there, right? So that's a tremendous amount of suffering and pain and heartache. And that adds to the fog, right, that you're dealing with. Yeah. It adds to the fog. So I am seeing that there's a couple of people here, Julie, Zara, suspecting that's you, and anybody else that blew in and blew out, send you my blessings. Next time I do this, I actually will promote it and spread the word so that we have a group of people. But I will do this. I am feeling to do this on a more regular basis through this channel. And yeah, I'm just following my own intuition and my own guidance to present in this way and broadcast from this beautiful healing sanctuary where I find myself, and wanted to just acknowledge you all, Zara, Julie, for being brave enough to ask for help, and for receiving the focus and for receiving the messages. But because for me, sometimes just asking for help is the hardest part, right? And just to recognize that it takes courage to ask for help. It takes courage. And I want to say bless you all, and I'll get on a more regular schedule with this, and sending so much love, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Take another deep breath in. We'll just seal the energy with this gong. Thanks, loves. Big love, yeah? It's tough being human. It's hard on planet Earth right now. It's really hard. So much love. Namaste.